Meghan and Harry in there. Um, you know, I don't know. Netflix, I do like Netflix and I do really enjoy it, but my husband and I will sit down and we'll be like, there's so much of a selection on Netflix and it's really hit or miss. It's like you might find something great, but it's probably you're going to find 99 other things that are just really really lukewarm. And Amazon Prime is the absolute different. It's like you don't have as much of a selection on the Amazon Prime ticket to look at, but usually it is of a much better quality in terms of writing. Netflix has good production value, I think, but the writing sometimes and the character arcs and the plot, sometimes it just falls off, and then they might put out one season and never do anything again. And I feel like, for instance, when I go on Netflix and I type in slavery, if I just type in the keyword slavery, I don't see very many things. If I type in Jim Crow, I don't see very many things. If I type in racism, I don't see very many things. If I type in black music, I don't see very many things except for the big ones like Beyonce or, Kanye West. I don't even know. But I don't see it. I see a lot of Netflix shows that used to be real good, like The Crown, but kind of fell off. Orange is the New Black was really good. Black Mirror was really good and then fell off. But then I see a million other things that just seem like some surfacey facade, Gen Z hodgepodge of just something that an algorithm told them was a good idea to do. It just seems inauthentic, a lot of the stuff. And it's sad. Some of the stuff on there is really, really good. I really liked Cable Car Girls. I liked H. That was a Spanish show. Sometimes they have some really good wins in there, but a lot of the times I see a crap ton. I'm about to curse up in here. I see a crap ton of serial killer type stuff. I just feel like literally they're looking at what's trending. Ooh, interracial black woman and white man couple is trending. Ooh, Jeffrey Dahmer's trending. Even like the stuff about Donald Trump, they don't really get real. Like, they kind of try to. They kind of do the things that are going on with racism in the world. It's like, I kind of do. They got the 13th on there, but is there much? So I feel like Harry and Meghan, they put that on there just because Harry and Meghan were popular. Do they really care about, are they really an ally? I hope so. I really, really hope so. But I think at the end of the day, Netflix is about their money, baby. Netflix is about their money. And I guarantee you what happened was somebody from the firm called them up. Hey, can we have a meeting? Maybe you shouldn't put this in there. Maybe you shouldn't put that in there. Oh, well, this didn't really go down exactly that way. And artistic liberty started to waver a little bit. I don't know. That's just my feeling. It seems like the artistic liberty was there during the first 4 seasons, and then something happened around the last season. And ironically, a lot of stuff was happening with the Sussexes between season 4 and season 5. But for me, and if Netflix was the Amazon type player, if it was the HBO, the Showtime type player, the Hulu type player, I think whether Buckingham Palace would have been like mean mugging them or not. I feel like that was what was at stake was Buckingham Palace wasn't going to be like, oh, you can't write Prince Harry and Meghan Markle into the crown. I feel like the most they would have done was the metaphorical equivalent of like mean mugging, but I feel like another company like maybe a Hulu or HBO or Showtime, they would have like risked the mean mugging and really wrote history as it was. Another thing I want to touch on that, in Prince Harry's book Spare, he talks a little bit about the similarities between he and his mother. He talked about how Diana was in a relationship with a person of color and how the paparazzi sort of hunted them down and made their lives miserable and essentially indirectly caused the death of his mother, and this speculation was really in the most heated of his height, at the height of his spectacle when Princess Diana started dating a person of color, and he, married to a person of color, was afraid that the same thing would happen to him. Now, what I found really interesting is that the show paints this picture of Muhammad al-Fayed as this crazy dude who was just like doing everything in his power to drive Diana to his son, and he hired the paparazzi to go out there and stalk him. Now, I'm not saying that that couldn't have some nugget of reality in it. And I think that it does. I think that he really was an advantageous man. But I don't think he was this big monster that the show painted him out to be. And I think that that culture that we talked about, that toxic tabloid culture that the royals both sort of are complicit towards, but also feed off of and use it as this sort of competition thing. I think that they were lackadaisical in this situation, and they were snobby. You know, they kind of are snobby, and I think they saw Diana with this guy and they just dismissed it as, oh, that's Diana, you know. No emotional intelligence. You know, maybe pick up the phone and call her. Do you think it's the best thing for you to be in Paris right now? I know that, you know, we just divorced. I know that you and my family member just divorced, but it's really heated with the paparazzi right now. Are you safe? Did anybody pick up the phone and call her and say that? No, because they don't do that. You know, they have this reverence and this, you know, and I don't know. That right there is a part that I really hope some generational growth, some generational ascension in terms of like empathy and love and compassion and family and brotherhood and sisterhood. I hope that maybe it's able to change, because I, for one, don't think that the monarchy is going anywhere anytime soon. I really don't. You know, I think that there are still too many people who have such a deep connection with it. You know, the way that I see people roll onto my channel who are so committed to being like the hound dogs for Camilla or Charles or Kate or William. I can tell that there are many people who are really attached to it. Even the people who are, you know, people of color, people from Jamaica, people from, you know, other parts of people from parts of Africa, Kenya, for example, Canadians, who they really feel connected to the monarchy. I think there's too many people right now to sort of let it go. But I do think that it's changing, you know, and for the better, slowly. It seems like it's changing really slowly. And like I've always said, if you want to keep a monarchy, cool. I mean, I don't live in Britain, so I mean, if you are a British person, if you're a Commonwealth person, and you want to keep the monarchy, cool. But just know that the monarchy is on the friggin' world stage. And maybe just maybe, it'll be important for you to do a little bit of PR so that you don't look like, you know. But I do think that what Meghan Markle is going through is what Dadi Al-Fayed went through. I do. I think that they were a little bit smarter. How do I want to say smarter? You know, I don't want to talk ill of the dead. I feel like they were maybe naive. Maybe it's not the smarter is the word to do. Maybe a little bit naive. And the way the show shows it, it's so heartbreaking, because Diana was such a sweetheart. And, you know, I do think she probably kind of knew all of the stuff that was going on, but she didn't really have the heart to say it. But the way that the show spins it, that, you know, Diane, and the show just is taking artistic liberties. They don't know what words were exchanged between Diana and Dottie, you know, that night at Harrods. They don't know. But her telling him, I'm not going to marry you, like, it's never going to happen, etc., etc., that right there seems like scapegoating to cover some other parties who may have been complicit in this whole situation. That seems like that. It seems like shifting blame, because I just, that last video of Diana in the elevator with Dottie where they're holding hands, I mean, I hold my husband's hand like that. There's so much that is translated in that sentence, in such a in that image, in such a short amount of time. I hold my husband's hand like that, and that dude downstairs is the love of my friggin' life. So I don't know. I don't know. I really don't know. But I just thought it seemed a little bit strange and um, maybe oddly trying to take the side of like other people within the firm somehow with that. Yeah. I mean, I don't think that anybody from the firm, like, would have been directly involved with the demise of Princess Diana. But I do think that they're snobby, and I think that their whole tabloid system is effed up. So, to put all the blame on Muhammad Al Fayed, ultimately, what I'm saying is it seems like another instance of the brown person, the black person taking the blame. I mean, what did Meghan Markle do? Meghan Markle is sitting here grappling with centuries and centuries and centuries of hate and of systemic racism. I mean, oh my God. It's really disheartening to think about. It's so disheartening to think about. You know, it's like the racism passed from colonialism, where people have said in the name of doggone science, Galileo Galilei, like, I'm doing this because it's my God-given right to say I'm better than those folks over there because my skin looks like this and their skin looks like that. That was born right about Europe. I mean, it's changed. Things have changed. My husband's European. Like, the world is mixing. But that is where that comes from. And it's still embedded everywhere. And Meghan Markle, I mean, I thank goodness every day. I thank God every day that she didn't stay there, because I think it could have ended terribly. I think it could have ended terribly, I just hope that it changes. I hope that it changes, and I wish, I feel like if Meghan Markle and Prince Harry, if they would have been addressed as human beings, with empathy, if their life story, their love story would have been shown with some truth, with some artistic, interpretation, the same way that it was shown between Charles and Camilla, the same way that it was shown even between Charles and Diana, where it was kind of good for a teeny tiny bit of time there, the way that it was shown between William and Kate. Why is it the only person who married someone, a person of color, they don't get that moment to be shown? They don't get that moment to just have that insight into their life. They got a soldier for life from me right here. Like, they got a sticker up for the underdogger right here for life from me, because if people who have, how am I going to say this? If people like me who have been through adversity directly and indirectly related to that terrible, terrible crossroads where race and gender crossover, if we don't speak up about these things, nothing will ever change. So I hope that this is a word to Netflix. I hope Netflix does the right thing and really gives Prince Harry and Meghan Markle the time that they need, the exposure that they need in this beautiful, beautiful show that they've built, in this beautiful anthology that they've built here. Even if it's, fictitious in certain ways, it still would have been nice for them to be real. Like, I guess that's basically what I'm getting down to. I just didn't get real. In the first 4 seasons, I feel like I really got real. Even with Winston Churchill, it's like Churchill, the way he's depicted in the show, is a bit like a caricature of Churchill, but at the same time, there's some nugget of truth in there. The way that Queen Elizabeth's dad is depicted in there. Now, I'm pretty sure they took some liberties with that, but still, it humanizes these figures of the past for us. But hey, maybe it won't be the crown, like the director said, the writer said. I don't know if he was the writer or the creator. The way the creator said, maybe it won't be the crown that tells this anthology of Harry and Meghan, and maybe 20 years from now, it'll be a whole different sort of movie or show that really gives them the time of day. But that's what I would hope for. I would hope for Harry and Meghan to get their time of day to, you know, so many times, just so many times that women of color, that their story has become untold. It's like Rosa Parks. We're still talking about this lady here because there is a very, very intentional effort sometimes to silence black people, but especially black women, and reach down in the hand of history and do it. That's what's most insidious about it. But yeah, I didn't like the way they treated Diana and Dottie's thing. I wasn't in love with it, but I will say I liked one singular part from the season that I did. I think I got to like episode 5 or 6. I mean, I really and I don't think I'm gonna try to go and watch it. You guys give me spoils, tell me what I missed. You know, maybe you watched it so I don't have to. But the one thing that I did like was Diana wrapping up that PlayStation for William. I thought that was great. That really showed what she was like as a mother. Oh, and I also did want to note that I like the way that they humanize William. You know, I think the William that we see right now, he's all grown up now, mama. He's a big boy now. And it's nice to see him when he was a little bit more humble. He was a little bit more, you know, kind of innocent. I don't know. But I really couldn't stomach much of it. But I want to know what you guys think. Let me know in the comments. And if you're new here, again, hit the like, subscribe button, hit the bell so you know whenever I post a video. Comment below. Tell me what you thought about it. Hit the like button so it pushes it out into the algorithm. It really helps out the channel. And if you also want to help this channel going, please do join us on the membership. You get content first. You get more content, especially Sussex content. When we get more members, I'll be doing things like live chats about Sussex, about pop culture, about motivation and politics on there. So definitely join. You can join for a little bit cheaper on patreon.com/itstherealnajwa. And if you also want to help this channel out, help us grow, help pay for the things, our software and hardware and things like that, you can also donate through the super thanks. And with that being said, I will catch you guys next time. Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy New Year's, Happy Holidays, all the good stuff. And I'll see you guys next time. Much love. I love you guys. Bye. Have a great holiday. See you next time. Bye. Bye.